Hey, thanks for joining me.
Hi Johnny, good to see you.
Good to see you. I know I've told you this before, but you changed my life. Before I saw Timber, I wanted to be Fat Boy Slim, and then after seeing Timber, I wanted to be you.
Okay, wicked.
So,
Double.
so yeah, the last 20 years, all I've been doing is trying to do Timber over and over again.
Yeah, thank you. Well, good luck with that. And it was a timber was a lot of work. I remember, but even though I've had trouble emulating it myself. So
So you made Timber in 1997.
that's right. And it was released in 1998 with Cold Cut. I was sort of working in their studio on. I'd already done a couple of things with them where I started video sampling using Adobe Premiere, like a an like a sequencer or like a drum machine, I guess, and cut and pasting video and um, made a couple of pieces. One was Frog Jam, which was the first one, which was a really simple kind of droplet into water and some animal noises that went along with it, just to start off with, and then progressed to Natural Rhythm, which was much faster cuts using natural sounds and visuals and plants and animals, monkeys jumping onto rocks and stuff, and all kind of source from all sorts of, off the TV, off VHS we could find. It was only made at like a quarter screen resolution, so it's probably only made at 320 by 240 pixels or something. It was because the computer was so slow, back then compared to now, the computers are so much slower. Then I got I wanted to do a more industrial kind of piece. I wasn't expecting it to be an environmental piece at the time, and I managed to get a loan from the Prince's Trust and get a computer, £2,000 second-hand computer with a video card, and was able to start capturing stuff at like a more of a standard definition resolution, so whatever it was, 764 by 576 or something, and then took what I'd already done to another level, and with edited lots of loops, made the track all in Premiere, and then took all the audio loops into the Cold Cut studio, and with their engineer, we managed to put we sorted the track out, the sound, and added strings and arranged it properly. And then I went back and we edited the video so it all worked. But we made sure that the track was in time. It didn't change any speed or anything, because then all the video stuff I'd done at 125 BPM was all locked in. So that was how that worked. And
25 frames per second.
yeah, and I won this with MCM Video Music Awards, Atlas Awards. For best editing. So that was after all the work that I put in, that was really cool to get some nice things about it. But I think I made it over a 6-month period. It was so slow, the machine, even though I spent all this money on a computer, that it still took 20 minutes to do a simple fade. So, and there's lots of compositing involved in it. So it just took forever. So 6 months work for a 3-minute video.
And were you constantly having to render and preview what you were doing?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, just and it was so frame. I just remember you just getting really down into the nitty gritty of it, frame by frame. How if an axe as it chops. You've got to have you're editing before the beat, aren't you? Because you have to have the movement of the axe and stuff. It was extremely laborious, but I was 27 at the time, so I was a lot more I was focused and wanted to prove myself, I suppose. So that's how it came about.
I've also seen you do a lot of 3D work.
So the 3D stuff I'm doing.
Yeah, and even I mean, back in the early days of Hexstack, there was 3D animation.
Yeah, so I just wanted to do what's the next? After Timber, we basically made an album as Hexstatic. We got a record deal with Ninja Tune. Then we released our first album, Rewind, that had visuals for every track. And then after that, I just wanted to take it to another level. So we did our album with 3D videos, anaglyph videos, and then that was cool. But it was pretty, I couldn't do the whole album. It was just so much work to try and do a whole stereoscopic album. So most of the tracks were 3D, so I was pretty pleased. That was called Master View. That came out on DVD, which was the first DVD we made. After I made some visual, I made a track called Pulse on there, which was 3D, and it was more of a graphical style rather than cut and paste video style. I wanted to do something that was more visual to the sound, so I made this video called Pulse and another video called That Track, and I think it was those videos that made me want to. They had a life of their own, and I wanted to do a new project that was more graphical and three-dimensional and holographic. So that's how the sort of Holotronica project started.
And back then, how did you perform live? How did you perform this stuff live?
Well, when I started VJing in the early 90s, late 80s, early 90s, it was all done on VHS. Doing the hexstatic, the early hexstatic stuff, we just had to play it off tape. Then quite quickly, we used a video sampler, Vidvox video sampler, Vidvox Prophet, it was called. A lot of people think that Timber was made using the Cold Cut VJam software, but that actually came after I'd made Timber, so that's quite a good point. There's a lot of people think VJam was used to make the Timber video, but it wasn't. It was a completely separate project by Cold Cut and Camart. Timber was all made purely by me with Premiere for the visuals, but the samples were used on the VJam as the default settings on the VJam software when they released it. Later on that year, after Timber had been released, they used the samples in the software. So, but I never used VJam because it was on the PC, and I've always been Mac based. So I had a bit of limbo where I had to use tape for a while to play back. But then, as soon as the Vidvox, I found out about Vidvox Prophet, then we started using that as our sampler. So that started working really well for us, and playing clips using MIDI keyboards.
Is Vidvox what became VDMX?
So that's now become VDMX, yeah. So I've been promoting that worldwide, that software for many years, and I'm still using it today. It's great.
Yeah, I'm hoping to interview David Lublin in a few weeks. Yeah,
cool. He's still. I think it's all still going, that software. I haven't really felt a need to use anything else, and I'm using it even for corporate events if you need playback and stuff. So it's pretty rock solid. So that's good.
Yeah. And so you were taking MacBooks around with you, or was it desktop computers?
Yeah, I think we were taking Mac laptops. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
And so nowadays it's basically the same thing. You're still using this a more advanced version of VDMX.
Yeah, basically using the latest version of VDMX, but now I'm purely, pretty much stereoscopic, using it for the Holotronica show. So I've invented a new screen technology called HoloGauze that's become quite a big thing for me, but it was purely invented so I could start doing 3D stereoscopic visuals with polarized glasses. So I've invented HoloGauze, and I use VDMX to be able to output stereoscopic images onto HoloGauze, so we can have an invisible screen that you can project 3D onto, so you can get crazy new effects with objects coming out over the audience and floating in air in 3 dimensions.
Yeah, your HoloGauze used by Eric Prydz and Beyonce, to name but two.
Yeah.
And there's one of those screens behind you. This is in your lab.
Yes, do you want to see that? We have a screen set up here in our lab here. I mean, obviously you can see the screen there. If I turn the lights off, you can see it's basically invisible. So we can we can have an invisible screen at the front of the stage with the whoever the performer behind, and we can project video onto that and have images going around the performer or whatever, any special effects.
So now when you perform, you're on stage and the screen's in front of you,
That's right, yeah.
and you have three-dimensional objects appearing around you.
Yes, yeah. And obviously with my show, it's everything's very synchronized with the sound. But people are using it in lots of different ways. Magicians are using it to do cool effects, and they say Beyonce and Lady Gaga and are doing it for cool effects, making multiple versions of themselves that like delay and move around, and there's lots of ways it's being used. It's been quite an amazing journey to sort of come up with a product and then see how all these amazing people are using it. I've met some cool people.
Is anyone other than you doing 3D with it? Holographics?
Really, no. That's the part that I really want to try and focus on this year, where because not really anyone's using the screen to its full potential. So I need to do that. I need to get on and make some new material that broaden the show that we've already got. So we've got a really good sort of hour and a half show, but I need to create new work for it.
And are you controlling VDMX with something like Ableton?
Well, the original Holotronica show, I programmed it all in Quartz Composer, so all the shapes were being controlled via MIDI in real time in stereoscopic. That was all running through Ableton Live. So Ableton Live was sending all the MIDI data to Quartz Composer projects that were running in VDMX all on one laptop. So that was pretty crazy.
And the laptop handles it fine?
Just about, yeah. It was scary, but we managed to pull it off. And now, what happened was we rendered out with the help of Tom Wall, I collaborated with. We rendered out the videos really nicely that went onto a 3D Blu-ray, Holotronica 3D Blu-ray, and that got released in 2014. So now when I do a show, I basically play out the nicely rendered material, but that seems to be better. The problem about the real-time stuff was for 2010, 2011 when I was doing it, the graphics aren't as good as if you rendered it out. Obviously, I think thinking up now though, I'm sort of looking into new real-time software.
And is everything Quartz now when you make that stuff, or do you do stuff in Cinema 4D or some 3D software?
Yeah, compared to so much more, but Cinema 4D, After Effects, Premiere seem to be my three weapons of choice these days.
And what are you making music with?
Well, the music thing, I'm not making so much music. I'm about to start making more music. I'm just sort of in the process of setting up the studio so I can start making more music, but still using Ableton Live. And I've got a large collection of synthesizers and drum machines, analog gear that as part of the Holotronica project is holographic electronica. And one of the big things about it is that using old gear, music, electronic and analog synths and stuff, and then combining that with retro futuristic visuals in 3D hologram, sort of crossover between all those things. So that's the whole idea of it. But what's actually happened though as well though is Holotronica is now a business. So it's Holotronica Limited is now, we're supplying these hologram projection screens to rent or sale like all over the world, different projects.
Yeah, and it uses a regular projector. You just need the screen.
Yeah, you can project using any projector, obviously a bright, nice, powerful projector. So it's pretty straightforward. It's actually like a textile that you can hang up on a bar. You can project on it at a certain angle, so you don't see the spill on the other side. And it's a bit of a magic trick, but if you get it right, it can work. It can be very effective.
Nice. To rewind a bit, I've been asking everyone does video remixing, how they came across the idea. Obviously, I saw Timber, and that's how I decided it. How did you decide that to make music with video?
I've always been into electronic music. I've always been into doing visuals, and before I was VJing, I was doing visuals with psychedelic light shows, inspired by the late '60s Pink Floyd kind of light shows, and that's all I've ever really been done. And I've always been interested in the marriage of the music and the visuals, and I got really focused on that. So basically all my career, I've just been experimenting with that, really, in a way. But I think the actual video sampling thing was definitely, I'm sure I'm not the only person to say this, but when Matt Black from Cold Cut showed me an Emergency Broadcast Network video, VHS, I was already kind of working on stuff that was more graphical, sort of visuals to sound, but I think that really flicked a switch, the EBN stuff, video sampling. I was like, I can do that. I could do it. I could do it like much more another level, with much faster cuts and stuff that they were doing. So that's hence how Timber and all those tracks sort of came about.
Yeah, after seeing Timber, I got in touch with Matt, and Matt was the first person to show me EBN, and then later on Matt also showed me Eberman. And I think EBM was like 1991, and Eberman was around the early 90s too. Yeah,
I remember seeing Eberman play and stuff at the time as well.
Yeah, he's got new software that's a plugin for Ableton.
Yes, so I've heard about it. Any good? Have you tried it?
No, I haven't tried it. No, I don't have Ableton on a Mac.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it looks wicked. Looks like the thing we'll be waiting for, really.
Well, some of his experiments are amazing. I feel like he's really in the same world as you. Like, he's used a Connect to cut himself out and put himself in Michael Jackson videos, and he has the sensor suit where he like live scratches using the motion of his arms and stuff.
Yeah. He was doing that stuff in the late '90s. I saw his show. Yeah, so he was like doing some really cool stuff then as well.
Yeah, I feel like you and him are the cutting edge of performance video.
Yeah, well, I'm still trying, but there's a lot of people doing it now, and but there's it's good to see there's festivals like Splice, and there's festivals that focus on that. I think I need to make some new material so I can get out there and do some more shows at these things.
Are you going to do Splice this year?
I might go. I'm not performing. I need to do some new material, so I need to work on that.
When was the last time you performed on the Holocaust?
I just did a show 2 weeks ago in Birmingham, and we did a show in Bristol at the Arnolfini quite recently as well. So it was part of the Encounters Film Festival.
Amazing.
And that was cool, and that was nice as well, because we did an experiment where I wasn't actually on stage. I had an avatar of myself on stage as a hologram, sort of. So I was DJing, and I realised I could be anyone I wanted to be. So I had different heads that correlated with the video, with the 3D holotronica show that was going on, and so that was fun. And then I was able to be at the back of the hall enjoying the show and controlling myself, which I really liked. Rather than me just being on stage with a can of cider or something behind a laptop, I thought so. That's a good direction, yeah, that was well received, and I'm hoping to do some more shows. I'm working. What else we did was I've taken some of the early Hexstatic stuff like Timber and like Deadly Media, and some of the other videos that I really like, and I've sort of rezzed them up to HD and 3D. So some of the videos were done in 3D, and I found the old files and I was able to convert them. But
nice.
And Deadly Media was very easy to convert. Timber isn't that easy to convert. But, so yeah, I've done that's a nice thing. So I'm starting to redo the Hexstatic videos, the ones I can anyway. So that's good.
There's been some really nice remixes of Timber too. EBN did one, and is his name Siege?
Seje.
Yeah, that remix is really nice.
Yeah, and I think Timber's got the world record for the most remixes.
Nice.
There's remixes that never got heard. There's loads of them that even didn't get heard, and there was loads that were released. And I've heard it's in the Guinness Book of Records for the most video remixes. So we really we thought, because of what it is, we should get EBN to do a video remix. And I think you did one. No, you did a video remix for one of the other Hexstatic tracks.
Did you a stereo?
Yeah, stereo. So, which was very good, by the way. I just checked it out again recently, actually. So that was cool. That was a while ago. So yeah, the whole video remix thing. We should be doing more of that. You know.
Yeah. I feel like when you started, you were awesome about keeping legal and doing stuff the right way, whereas a lot of us went off and just pirated material and didn't pay any attention to copyright, whereas almost everything Hexstatic's done's been legitimate.
Pretty much, yeah. I think I was on tour with Cold Cut in America, and we did a show in LA, and I was actually, for that show, I had to take over someone's part. I was normally just VJing, but I had to do the samples for King of the Swingers, so I was playing back the video samples from King of the Swingers. And lo and behold, because it was in LA, I think there must have been someone who told someone, or there was a producer there from Disney. And so I think they got the call, you know, don't fuck with Jungle Book, you know.
Don't touch it.
Don't touch Jungle Book. So that was like, well, okay, I'm not, you know, that you can't be that blatant, but obviously you can, Johnny.
I think that's changed. I think that's really changed. Like I have videos that people at Disney has definitely seen. And it's like, I think now it's more about being tasteful and respectful.
Yeah.
And YouTube has crushed any sort of likelihood of shutting down every single remixer.
Right, okay, yeah. It's just got too big to be able to start suing people here and everywhere. And
yeah, because YouTube basically infringed copyright until it was so big that they cut deals with everyone.
Sure.
So now's a good time for you to start infringing copyright.
Did you ever get into trouble? Did you ever get the letters or the phone calls?
No, never had a cease and desist. The only times I've had takedowns is when I've stupidly used someone else's music. And
okay.
I kind of feel that's a fair boundary of, like, if you're going to rip off someone's 3 minutes of someone's 4-minute tune, that's bad. If you're ripping off 5 seconds of someone's 2-hour movie, that's not such a big deal. And also with movies, there's so much promotion on the internet that's like a vlog from Poland or a TV show in Ireland, you know, where they're showing clips of movies, that they don't want to shut that down. Because it would basically be shutting down the promotional channels for the movie. So movie studios never shut down the remixes now. Yeah.
Okay. Have you been going to? Sorry, I'm going off piece. Did you go to Moscow last?
No, I've done it 3 times. I didn't go last year.
You didn't get invited back last year. I thought, because you're going every year, yeah. So give me a break.
Yeah. They give you a break for a year, and then you came back.
Yeah.
I love that. I love the Circle of Light, because it's also the only chance I get to see the best of every visual show in one place.
Yeah, it's amazing.
They should have Hologors there at some point.
Yeah, but just getting Holotronica shows. I should be doing a Holotronica show in Moscow. I mean, it's crazy. That'd be good. But
the art pieces you've done where they have exponential growth, can you talk a bit about what that is?
Sure. I started a project called Orders of Magnitude, which is I call it an exponential self-funding project. So I started with £1 coin, and I went to the charity shop and I bought something for £1, and I turned it into a piece of art and then sold it for £2. And the idea is to keep doing that 20 times, and then if I after doubling up 20 times, then the value of that pound is, I think it's £1,048,000. But then all I've invested is £1 and just my time and creativity. So, and it's a really cool way, like a ladder to success, or a ladder to fund yourself in a, you know, getting bigger each time. So the art pieces you make are bigger each time. I love the project. I'm a bit stuck. I'm about halfway through now. I've just sold a piece for £2,048 to Jason Bradbury from the Gadget Show, Channel 5 Gadget Show. And it was like an animating hologram piece that I made, and he's got it on his wall now. But so I sold that for $2,048, and I've used that money to make 100 kaleidotrons, which are these gadgets that you can paint with lasers in a kaleidoscope in one box that you can open up. So I've got to sell 100 of those at £40 and 96p each. And once I've done that, I can progress to the next level because I'll have £4,096 to then spend on like make one art piece or 100 or whatever it is. So that's kind of my hobby project now. It's cool, and it's funding my ideas, and I don't have to worry about trying to get funding. You know, it's great.
Yeah,
And
it's Hologor's taken up most of your time. It must be.
It's taken over my life, yeah. So
Yeah.
everything else has been quite difficult. It's been pushed to one side a bit, to be honest. But
Too successful to make art.
yeah. Well, it's weird. The Hologos thing's quite odd because it's like you're almost making more money selling a blank canvas than you are actually creating the content, which is kind of weird.
Yeah.
It took me a while to get my head around that after being a content creator for all my career. So, but it's good
You've
because
always been an inventor.
and it's funding, other things. It means we can experiment more and do more.
Right.
So that's great.
Yeah, the lab looks awesome. Only one more thing.
Yeah.
I was going to do a mini remix at all these interviews. Could I ask you to make a few silly noises?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Boing, boing. This is the Stuart Warren Hill interview.
Thank you so much, man. Thank you for your time.
That's cool.
This is awesome.
Yeah, nice one, man. And thanks for the props as always.
And see you somewhere in the world soon.
Yeah. Okay, Johnny. Take care. Let me know when you coming over for Splice.
I'm not sure. It's May, right?
Let me know if you're over, and I'll come and see you.
Cool.
All right, mate.
Have a lovely day.
Nice one. Take care.
Bye-bye.
Bye.